This is the Surly Grognards for September 28th, 2015. This is Peter Bowman, and as always, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Eric Carlson. How are you doing tonight, Eric?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, most excellent, most excellent. So, we don't have a topic for tonight because we're lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this happens fairly often because we forget sometimes, you know.
I'm not very good at linear time.
Ah, I see. That's your
Just
excuse.
sort of, yeah, just sort of. It's a thing that happens around me. I don't pay it much mind until I have to, which is usually about 15 minutes before I have to.
Right. So yeah, we don't really have much of a topic tonight, so we're just going to be sort of, talking about random crap, because we do that sometimes.
As we do.
Yeah.
As we do, even when we do have a subject.
This is true. Yeah. So,
have you seen Fury Road yet? Because you have
no,
to.
I've not.
Oh, you are a terrible human being. Like, seriously, you're a bad person.
Is it on Netflix yet?
It doesn't matter. You can make it happen. You and the captain can make it happen.
When it comes to Netflix, I'll watch it.
Okay, fine. Be that way.
I don't go to the theater very often, Eric.
It's on DVD. You can, find it on the internet.
I'd rather do it legally if I can.
Yeah, fine.
That way somebody gets the appropriate money. If it's a good movie, it deserves to be watched legally, in my opinion.
Yes. No, absolutely. And definitely deserves to be watched legally. I also got the DVD because it's going to be one of those movies I'm going to watch when my internet is down. On the rare occasions that happens.
Fair enough.
Because it's really good, and I can't talk about it because you haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, I've only seen. Have I watched? I'm trying to remember how many Mad Max movies I've watched in their entirety.
Seriously?
I've not. I've watched. Which one was? I never remember the name of which was the first and the second one. The first one's Mad Max, right?
Yeah, first one is Mad Max. Second one is Road Warrior.
I've watched all of Mad Max and most of Road Warrior, and I've not seen Beyond Thunderdome. Sorry, I've seen part of Beyond Thunderdome. I saw enough to go.
Thunderdome is the weakest, if the second most quotable. Its story structure is all over the place. Its pacing goes from too fast to too slow to perfect to too fast and too slow at the same time.
That takes talent.
Yeah. It's clear that there were supposed to be several movies that got smushed together into one.
Ah, I see.
Because he's in Bartertown, and Bartertown is happening. Then he leaves Bartertown, and he runs into a bunch of kids in a ravine. And they do the whole, reluctant savior / Lost Boys thing. And they go back to Bartertown, and they fight Tina Turner, and now Master Blaster's on their side for some reason. And, oh yes, the gyrocopter captain from the Road Warrior, who now has an airplane, and a kid, and might not be the same character despite dressing the same.
I see.
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to, yeah. As I said, I need to rewatch the other ones at some point also. It's just been so freaking long since I've watched any of them.
Well, you don't really need to... They're all... Well, there's definitely a timeline involved. They're very episodic. You don't need to see them in order.
Oh, that's not why I have to rewatch them.
You just have to rewatch them because they're awesome.
I'd like to remember them. I don't remember them very well.
Fair enough.
I remember parts of them, but I'm like, I've only seen Mad Max once, and I don't remember if I've seen all of Road Warrior in its entirety because I watched it on TV.
Right.
And I know I've seen parts of it multiple times on television, but I don't remember if I've seen the whole thing.
There was a time in the 80s and 90s where it was always on TV.
Yes.
Which makes me surprised that you hadn't seen it all the way through for no other reason than that.
Well, I might have. I just don't remember if I did.
Right.
It's like, I think I've seen the movie, but I'm not positive because...
The funny thing is, the first Mad Max was the first movie in English I'd ever seen that made me wish I had subtitles.
Huh.
I got over that because it was the first movie I had seen with... That wasn't like a British drama that was made somewhere other than America. Um, but yeah, that and The Harder They Come. Holy crap, The Harder They Come absolutely needs subtitles. The accents are so thick in The Harder They Come.
Yeah.
Which, for those that don't know, is a Jamaican gangster movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I love me you know me, I love me my Mad Max.
Yes.
The Ayatollah of rock and rolla. I mean, come on. Warlord of the Wasteland, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Lord Humongous.
It's a good title.
It really is. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool subtext in Fury Road that I want to discuss with people, and you're one of the people I want to discuss it with, but you haven't seen it yet, so I declare you a bad person.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that I rewatched it yesterday.
Yeah, I've not been watching much in the way of movies recently. Basic, basically,
Go.
it's trying to think what was the last movie I watched. I don't remember.
Last movie I watched that wasn't Mad Max was VHS, which is a horror movie which is currently on Netflix.
Huh.
The premise being some douchebags that film all their exploits decide to get hired to rob something from this guy's house. So they go in, they're doing the whole found camera footage bullshit, and find the guy dead in front of like a bank of TVs with this pile of like video cassettes in front of him. So like, okay, we know it's the guy leading the heist goes, okay, we know it's a video cassette. So you sit here and you watch all of these. We're gonna go in the basement and see if we can find any others down there. And that's the setup, because it's now the guy watching the various video cassettes and the fucked up horror shit that is on all of them. It's actually kind of a deep premise.
Cool. Yeah. I think, what else have I seen recently? I mean, I've been watching a lot of TV series. Like, I got myself fully caught up. I watched all of season 2 of The Blacklist,
Right.
which is a show I'm still not sure whether I think it's a good show or merely just somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, I'm sort of... Blacklist is one of those shows that I'll eventually end up watching, but isn't high on my priority list. I've got to get caught up on Doctor Who.
Yeah, you should. I actually haven't watched this week's Doctor Who yet. I should do that.
Neither have I. I did watch last week's Doctor Who recently, and I was like, okay, now I definitely need to get caught up, because who the fuck is this Missy chick?
Oh, you don't know who Missy is?
I'm convinced she's the Master, because she's acting like the Master. I'm right, aren't I?
Yes. Yes, it's the Master. Short for Mistress.
Of course. But yeah, like that got me going. Okay, now I need to go and get caught up on Doctor Who and start watching it again. But yeah, and I've been rewatching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood because the show's remarkably good. Like the animation is top notch, and I like all of the characters, which is weird. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yeah.
Brotherhood.
Here's the thing. Doesn't have filler. Like, the first one is like a third the length and has like 6 episodes of filler.
I know. Here's my thing about Fullmetal Alchemist. I understand that Brotherhood is more faithful adaptation of the manga.
Yes.
That said, there's a lot about Full Metal Alchemist, the original, which I think does better storytelling than Brotherhood does.
Yes, no, I'll agree with that. The way the homunculi are tied into human transmutation,
Yep.
and the general, the way that, like, how do I want to put this? The fact that they're personifications of the alchemists that created them's sin and hubris. That's really interesting, thematically.
Yeah, I liked. There's a lot about these about basically everything that they create out of whole cloth in the original because they had to effectively because they'd caught up with the manga.
Right.
I thought they took the story and the characters most of the human characters made more believable human decisions.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
Whereas the second, like, Brotherhood is more prototypical shonen anime.
Yeah, but it's well done shonen anime.
I'm not saying Brotherhood's
well
bad.
Done shonen
I just think that the original was better. Aside from the endings, I mean, both of them ended like shit.
Yeah. Oh no, the first one had a. No, not the first one. The second one had
Brotherhood
a damn good fuck yeah fight, but it was like, really, you're gonna end with a fist fight? Like this giant conspiracy is fixed by punching it?
Yes, which is a stupid ending, but it's better than going back to World War I era London.
Yeah, I'm going back to World War I era London to follow my dad, who was somehow in Germany and part of the Order of the Golden Dawn, because we decided to just pull a bunch of random stuff out of our ass.
If that had been hinted at all, anywhere, maybe, but it wasn't. That was like the biggest ass pull I have ever seen. I mean, it was technically more sensical than the original ending to Evangelion. But only technically.
No, it wasn't. No, the original, the first ending to the original ending to Evangelion at least is like plays up on the lunatic psychodrama that Evangelion became, with the whole human instrumentality and everyone blooding together, blah 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 blah, lunacy. It's about Shinji's own psychological hang-ups.
Yes,
that made more sense than let's go to World War I London.
Except you couldn't get that in the original version of the ending. Because it wasn't animated or drawn because they didn't have the budget to do it.
I know. Forgot about. No, they had one really well animated high school slice of life scene. And then it was, everything was concept art and placeholder animation, and then some people clapping. The end.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations, motherfucker.
What? This is what I'm talking. So yeah, I mean that's what I meant. Not
yeah, the first Fullmetal Alchemist ending is just
That was literally the what the fuck now?
Yeah. Although I will say that Brotherhood does more interesting things with Winray, does more interesting things with Armstrong and his family. Because Armstrong's like easily my favorite character. That guy's fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
And his sister and the whole rivalry between him and his sister.
Yeah.
And with Mustang's whole crew. And then, I don't know. They're both good anime. It's just that Brotherhood doesn't have any filler, despite being 3 times as long. And has superior animation because technology advanced.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. I really am willing to accept that. As I said, I get sort of I just have this sort of knee-jerk reaction to people going about how much better Brotherhood is than the original.
It's not. It's only better in that there is less filler, and that's the first Fullmetal Alchemist's biggest sin was it had like 6 filler episodes and a 24 episode thing. So, yeah. And the stupid ending.
That's the one thing I'm willing to argue on.
Like, At least you get like the whole fuck yeah thing in Brotherhood at the end. And then you think about it for like 30 seconds and you're like, did you really just end this centuries long conspiracy by punching it?
Yes.
I mean, come on. At least Superboy Prime punching reality has sheer absurd hubris to make it awesome.
Yeah. As I said, there's a lot of things that I don't like. I don't like Evangelion, but
I like it. I'm almost convinced I like it just to be stubborn at this point. Because I really, people list all the flaws. I'm like, yeah, I can't argue that. And Shinji is
the worst
so,
one of the worst protagonists in anime.
It would be fine if he evolved at all.
If he had any
every
character,
time he starts to show spine and take some agency, he goes right back into the hole the next episode.
Yeah, he doesn't really have any.
I mean, you want to have a spineless, vaguely whiny protagonist for the first few episodes of your anime. Look at Gurren Lagann. And look what they did with Simon and how awesome he became. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot I like about Evangelion, but Shinji is not one of them.
No.
Shinji is just so...
the problem is, I just don't really like any of the characters, is the real problem.
I kind of like Asuka.
She's okay.
I mean, I find her entertaining to watch. I would not ever want to hang out with her. and that's the thing. There are characters that I enjoy in a fictional sense that I would never want to like hang out with. The entire cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia falls into that realm. These are really entertaining people to watch because they're on TV. If I ever met people actually like that, I would run away.
Yep.
And Rei is interesting because she was a first, and then everyone started to have a Rei in their series.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole emotionless doll thing, except which made sense with Rei because she like just got flushed out of a tube and is still putting shit together. And every time she starts to develop her own sense of agency and identity, she gets dead. And they have to make a new Rei. So, spoilers for 20-year-old anime, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh god. Let's see what else. So I watched that. I actually other anime I've watched recently though. I watched Bakano.
I still need to watch that. It's one of those series that like should have all the buttons that I'd love. I just haven't gotten around to.
I think you'll enjoy it immensely, Eric. To be totally honest, I went into it basically blind, only knowing that people said it was good. I had no idea about anything about it. I knew roughly the setting.
I've heard that it's good, that it does a little time skipping, but seems to focus like in the 1920s.
It's around 1930. Basically.
And it gets it gets violent.
Yeah, that was the bit I knew there were fight scenes in it. I did not realize exactly how gruesome that show gets.
Yeah.
Oh lordy. I was not anticipating that. There's other bits about it I was also not anticipating. Storyline stuff, which I'm not going to spoil.
Oh yeah, like Immortals in there or something?
I did not know about that either. That caught me off guard. Mind you, they reveal that the existence of their immortal people in the opening teaser, basically, of the show.
Yeah.
Somebody gets gunned down, and no, that's not what happens. He gets like part of his body lopped off, and it grows back on like immediately in a rather gruesome manner.
Psychopass is an anime I really, really enjoyed, which is a police procedural in a Dickensian dystopic utopia. It's actually more Orwellian, honestly. Because the premise is like they now have a supercomputer that runs Japan, because of course Japan, and it can take biometric scans through scanners they set up everywhere to like determine your mental state. And if you ever cross a certain threshold, you become a potential criminal, and you have to be brought in for treatment. If you cross a certain point past that, you are deemed a like an essential and existential threat to society and will be put down on the spot. This has so many like Philip K. Dick level of mindfuckery potential, and the show does a good job, at least in the first season, of exploring this.
Cool.
But what really caught me off guard is it's so Orwellian in that no one fucking questions it until they had the question literally shoved in their face. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. Yeah. And yeah, people die horrifically. Yeah. There's one story arc with a psychopath who goes around doing Gunther von Hagen sculptures with his victims for the express purpose of driving people over the edge.
Aha. Yeah. Back to Bakano. I think one of the main reasons I actually got through Bakano is there are two characters who pop through it who are at least they are like Isaac and Miria are just like adorably likable and dense, and yet somehow badass on top of that. Like they're okay. Here's the deal. They're thieves, and they're morons, as near as I can tell. But they're really good thieves. Like they're really good at what they do somehow.
Kind of like Remy from Black Lagoon.
Remy?
Yeah. Dense is a stump, but really, really good at her job.
Oh, Revy, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It's more that they're sort of clueless and loopy.
Okay.
They are naive as all get out, and really likable and sweet in their own weird way.
But they're thieves. How are they going to be naive and a thief?
I can't explain it. You have to watch the show to understand, man.
Okay.
They are Fruit Loops. They're great and adorable.
Okay, yeah, I'll watch it right after Brotherhood, and yeah, eventually I need to catch up on Doctor Who.
Yes, you do.
Because apparently the Master's back, and now a chick, and that's awesome.
It is. And she. There are times when she's fantastic. She's got a few episodes where she's a little bit too loopy.
Right.
It's intentional to a certain degree, but you know.
Oh no, because I saw last week's episode this week. I was like, she's being loopy and silly, and it's clearly an act.
Kinda.
Like it's clearly her putting on an act for Clara's sake.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Master. She is, of course, insane.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the Master's awesome.
And bonkers. But at any rate, let's see. What
Second
else?
only to the Daleks, and not nearly as overused.
At this point, yes.
And I love me some Daleks, but Jesus Christ.
Can we go for a season without them? One season.
Okay, you can... I don't know about a whole season, but like maybe limit them to one episode.
I'm asking,
and not have them be destroyed forever at the end of the episode.
Well, to be fair, they weren't destroyed forever during last season.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm saying I want there to be an episode, one episode, a season. Sorry, one season where there's not one episode with the Daleks in it. That's not good. That has already this season has already failed that test. In the first fucking episode.
Yeah.
First episode,
they're like, "Hi, Davros."
It's like, well, all right then. I have to watch the second half of that episode. I might do that tonight at some point.
Right.
Because, I mean, I get there are a lot of people who are not super fond of modern Doctor Who for a lot of reasons. I get why. Like there are
I can understand why.
I know a lot of people who are big Doctor Who fans who are not fond of Moffat's run as a showrunner.
I totally understand that.
And I do too.
I don't necessarily agree with them, but yeah, I totally I see your criticisms. I acknowledge them as legitimate.
Right, and I will say this: overall, I've preferred Moffat's run as showrunner to Davies' run as showrunner.
Yeah.
That said, I am tired of Clara. I basically
Is it me, or is Clara's whole job is she like a useless Sarah Jane? She's there to look cute and sound smart occasionally, but mostly just to get in trouble and be rescued.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing: she's supposed to be smart. She's supposed to be
Right.
this weird sort of blend.
She sounds smart.
Right,
She,
she's
she's a
supposed
good
to be
does a good job of sounding smart.
Right, she's
and then
supposed-
she does something stupid.
She's sort of supposed to be she's supposed to be sort of the Doctor's moral compass, the way Sarah Jane was. I mean,
Right.
Sarah Jane's a good comparison for her, except that she's
Sarah
not.
Jane was smart, would get herself out of trouble, and even save the Doctor on occasion.
She was kind of awesome.
Yeah, Sarah Jane was great.
It's sort of like the
she's
same.
no ace, but she was great.
Well, it's sort of like how Rose is sort of Ace light.
Yeah. Yes. That is an excellent analogy. Clara is Sarah Jane light, and Rose is Ace light.
I think that's sort of the impression. That's sort of the feel I've gotten from.
Rose never killed a Dalek with a powered baseball bat,
No, she didn't. Because
and she didn't know anything about.
nobody there isn't a companion who is as badass in a fight as Ace was. I will never argue that point.
Even the barbarian chick cannot hold a candle to Ace. Who's like,
I will say this:
I have explosives and I have a baseball bat. I'm going to tape the explosives to the baseball bat and then hit things with it.
But she was awesome. But she was also pretty awesome. I mean, neither Ace nor her are my favorite companions. I mean, Ace is high up on my list because Ace is awesome. I can't argue that. But I mean, I will take. I personally, Liz Shaw is one of my favorites, just because
Which one was Liz Shaw?
she was the first companion of the Third Doctor.
Okay, cool. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the scientist.
Yes. Okay, she was pretty cool. And
She took none of his shit.
great in mini skirts and go-go boots.
Yes, but she took none of the Doctor's bullshit.
Yeah, she took none of the I also really like Pertwee. So
Yes, I do too. Pertwee is high on my list. I've Zoe and Jamie are among my favorites also.
Zoe and Jamie are pretty cool.
I mean,
Does the Brigadier count as a companion? Because he's awesome.
I don't count as a companion because he's not really. He kind of is and kind of isn't.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Sarah Jane fan for obvious reasons because she was awesome. But Romana also. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Romano is pretty cool.
I mean, especially once Lala Ward joined the show, and her chemistry with Tom Baker was amazing.
I'm convinced they were fucking. They almost certainly were.
I think
thinking about it and how Tom Baker behaved off screen. But yeah, Romana was awesome. The whole like extra space or exospace arc. That's what it was called. That was pretty cool. Peter, you there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about something.
Okay.
As I said, yes, they actually lived together. She and Tom Baker lived together until they actually got married.
Did they?
Only lasted 16
awesome.
months.
I didn't know that.
The marriage didn't last very long. But they definitely were in a relationship. There's a reason their on-screen chemistry was as good as it was because they had actual chemistry.
Adric oscillates between awesome and terrible.
Oh my god, he is so when he's good, he's good. But oh my god, when he's not, he is
when he's bad, he's
infuriating.
really bad.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, for those of you who don't watch Doctor Who and who watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, imagine Wesley Crusher. Now imagine Wesley Crusher being an infuriating Wesley Crusher. No, I don't mean that Wesley can be infuriating. I mean more infuriating than Wesley is when he's infuriating.
Yeah.
That's Adric.
That's an excellent analogy. Occasionally Wesley is cool, but yeah.
Yeah.
Although Adric had more times of being cool than Wesley ever did.
I'll say this: I think Will Wheaton's probably a better actor than the guy who played Adric.
Yes, Will Wheaton. But this is because Will Wheaton's awesome. But in the script, Adric got to be cool without showing everyone up. Wesley was only ever cool when he showed up the entire bridge staff of best in their field career officers.
Fair enough.
Like that was the only time Wesley ever got to be cool. But it was
For
like,
the most part. I think there are a few times.
I'm going to be smarter than the android with a friggin' like super brain, and I'm going to be the first in his field engineer with all the tech knowledge, and my mom doctor, and shut up, Wesley.
Yes.
I'm going to get beat up and kidnapped more than Worf. That's a character that didn't find his own until he got off the fucking Enterprise.
Dances with Wesley happened.
Yeah.
I forget the episode where he ascended to godhood. I forgot the.
Oh Jesus Christ! With the fucking the Traveler.
Yes, with all the Native American analogs, which is why it's referred to as Dances with Wesley.
Yeah. Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah.
It was a terrible.
Were they like actual Native Americans on that planet?
Probably.
Like
I forget. It's been a long while since I watched that episode.
I love Star Trek and I love Next Gen, but Jesus Christ, sometimes they were just like subtlety of Ace with a sledgehammer, a rocket-powered sledgehammer covered in dynamite.
Oh God, that show was sometimes so bad.
Screaming, "This is the point of our plot!" Boom.
There are very few episodes I detest between the first that are it started with the second season, ending with the sixth season.
Okay, fair enough.
The first and seventh season are mostly not very good.
Seventh season did go out with a fucking bang, though.
Yeah, Best of Both Worlds is pretty good, although.
No. You're thinking.
Not Best of
All
Both.
Good Things.
Yeah, All Good Things. Yeah, I meant All Good Things.
Yeah.
Although Q's point about he really quips about the whole this is not just a typical adventure. And as I've started watching, it's like except this is sort of a typical two-parter.
Yeah.
Q's sort of comment was a little bit on the nose. I'm like, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good. And the episode that starts it, which is the two-parter, the Chains of Command, has some really great parts about it, and then the rest of the episode is terrible. Like, everything involving David Warner and Patrick Stewart in the Cardassian interrogation stuff was amazing.
Yeah. That's fucking great.
Everything that happens in the Enterprise is terrible.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's the one with the, that's the one with the B-plot involving the matter phasing cloak, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
that
not
was
good.
dumb.
It was really dumb.
That was fucking stupid.
And the other captain who was paranoid about the Cardassians and he had really history with O'Brien, and it's...
Yeah.
Oh, God, why?
I mean, the other there's an argument to be made that the other captain wasn't as terrible as he's remembered.
No, but it's...
Because he does some, like... The Cardassians clearly have an agenda. I'm just putting them on their back foot so they can't implement it as well as they would like to. Yeah, it makes sense. I like things done in a particular way in my ship. I'm in charge right now. I like things to be done that way. Okay, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're completely turning everything up and on the ship for like the 2 weeks you're going to be here so that everyone's running on less efficiency on this new schedule that you insisted upon because that's the way you like it. You're only here for like 2 weeks, and so by the time everyone gets used to it, you're going to be gone. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good episode.
Yeah, I have a real problem with him changing up the duty roster.
But like the rest, but like the rest of that episode, like the stuff with Picard and the Cardassian is amazing.
Oh yeah. There are 4 lights.
And the very end is fantastic with him and Troy. It's like, wow, that was great.
Yeah. At the end, I really believe there were 5 lights.
But like, and then like later on that season is that god-awful episode Sub Rosa. It's the one with
Sub Rosa?
It's the one Dr. Crusher gets the inheritance and the energy being and haunting her house.
Oh, it lives inside the fucking candle or some bullshit?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's the episode that was effectively written by Anne Rice. I mean...
Yeah, no shit.
Like, almost literally. It's like... It's apparently, from what I understand, I've not read the book, but it's similar to a plot of one of her books, Lasher or something like that. I forget.
Except it was a bad imitation of Anne Rice.
Oh my god.
What
That's a depressing
terrible...
concept.
Yeah.
Because I've enjoyed some of Anne Rice's books, honestly. Like, the first 2 vampire books are actually a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, those are actually excellent.
Like, the Vampire Lestat's really good. Interview with a Vampire is a great look at the same character from the other side.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's cool. And then Queen of the Damned. What the fuck? Nope, I'm done with this.
The book was better than the movie.
Didn't watch it.
The movie was disjointed, insane, and had... This is actually a good description of the book, also.
It's a terrible book. I actually had the books in the wrong order. It's Interview with the Vampire is the first one. The Vampire Lestat's the second one.
Yeah.
Interview is the one where the person interviews Lewis.
Yeah.
And the second one's with the interview with Lestat. So you get to see, like, Lestat's... Like, you get to see the story from, like, both Lewis's point of view and Lestat's point of view, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, because in Louis' point of view, like, Lestat's a hedonistic lunatic, while in Lestat's point of view, Louis is a limp-wristed, whining git.
And they're both kind of right.
Yes.
But I mean, Lestat's not as much of a monster as Louis makes him out to be, and Louis is not as much of a loser as Lestat makes him out to be. Exactly. And Claudia is a complete and utter monster.
Yeah, Claudia was a monster and totally deserved getting dusted.
Mind you, I mean, it's not entirely their fault given how young she was when she was embraced, so...
Yeah, I mean, you don't take a fucking, like... What was she, like...
8 or 10, somewhere in that range?
Yeah, somewhere around there, and you don't take a 10-year-old and give them immortality and superpowers and expect it to go well.
No.
Especially when you move their ability to adapt and change as a person, because now they're stuck being fucking 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, destroying Claudia was exactly the right thing to do.
Yeah. So, but yeah, wow. How did we end up on Anne Rice? I read other Anne Rice books, now I'm thinking about it. I read the Mummy book. I forget the name of it.
She wrote a Mummy book?
She wrote a Mummy book. It's really fucking stupid.
Okay.
I just remembered, I've read
Does
that
it involve
book.
Brendan Fraser fighting mummies? Because that movie is awesome.
No, it has nothing to do with that. That was a great movie. I loved that to pieces. The second one wasn't very good, but...
The second one tried?
It had a great bit. It opens into a spear!
A spear, yes.
That scene's great.
And then terrible, like...
Also, whatever harm ever came
PS2
from...
quality CG rock with scorpion body.
Yeah, not so much. Whatever harm ever came from opening a box. Whatever harm it came from opening a book! You remember that?
Yeah, that was great.
But the thing I love about The Mummy is they spent the entire movie, like, walking up the edge of the classic horror movie trope and then going, nope, we're not doing that.
Yep, this is dumb.
Maybe we should split up. No, we really shouldn't. Maybe I'll, like, do this thing. No, we won't do that. Okay, we left the scarab thing in the coffin behind and we forgot about it. No, I'm going to go back and get that so nothing weird happens.
Yes.
I'm like...
Hey, this is a room full of treasure. We should totally not take anything from here.
It's like... Also, the bit with Brendan Fraser's character and Benny after they all get off the boat, they're off the boat. It's like, hey Jack, I got all the horses. Hey Benny, you're on the wrong side of the river. I just love that. That scene is so great. That movie is far better than it has any right to be.
Absolutely, I agree. That movie is like a Big Trouble in Little China type of movie.
Except that it's actually not. There's like watching it. Like Big Trouble in Little China is objectively a bad movie in a lot of ways.
Yes.
The Mummy is actually a smart, funny action movie.
Yes.
It's like, wait, what? How did
I
the
was
Mummy...
more thinking about the way it plays with the various like wacky tropes.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yes. But yeah, the big difference is that, I mean, I adore Big Trouble in Little China. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, Big Trouble in Little China is one of the best movies from the 80s.
It's one of the best bad movies. It is one of the best bad movies ever.
I would say it is the best bad movie ever.
It's either that or Buckaroo Banzai, in my opinion.
Yes, and I think we're going to argue over which one.
I don't know which one I like better. I love both of them.
Okay.
I love both of them to pieces.
They're both great movies. I think I prefer Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China is a better movie.
Yeah.
The thing is that it's objectively better.
Yes.
Buckaroo Banzai is objectively A gigantic mess.
Almost incomprehensible.
Oh my god,
But
it's...
so much fun.
What's the watermelon for?
I'll get back to that.
I'll tell you later. Never explained. The fuck? I love it to pieces. And the fact that it's referenced in the Battletech novels is one of my favorite things ever.
Yes, with Team Bonsai.
Team Bonsai. The watermelon's in the Battletech novels. Michael Stackpole came up with an explanation for the watermelon. And it's a good one.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, it's in the which trilogy? It's in the Warrior. It's in the third book of the Warrior trilogy, if I remember correctly. Well, yeah, it's gotta be the
I've
Warrior
actually
trilogy.
read that, but I don't remember the watermelon bit.
It's basically when a bunch of them are leaving the lab where Dr. Bonsai had been working. He doesn't show up on screen, but
Right.
like the watermelon gets dislodged and it gets crushed and whatever. Then a recording goes off explaining what the whole point of the watermelon is, and basically it's basically a test on seeing if people can follow directions and not disturb the watermelon.
Right. That actually makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wow, that's actually a logical explanation for that. I'm certain the people who wrote the book that Buckaroo Banzai the movie was based on did not think of that. I am certain that it was never in their minds.
There's just what's the most ridiculous fruit that we can put in this contraption? A watermelon. How are we going to explain it? Does not matter. Just hang a lantern on the fact that it's there and move on.
So, like, say you're watching, you watch it, you're like, there are people in that movie who are actually good actors.
Yes.
Like, Christopher Lloyd's in it. John Lithgow is in it, although,
Yeah.
I mean, John Lithgow can devour scenery with the
He
best
was
of them.
chewing on. There was not but like splinters and that mashed up pulp left.
I mean,
when he
this was
done.
Vincent Price level of scenery chewing. I mean,
Yes.
and I love Vincent Price. I mean, but that man was
Doomed are your eyes and damned is your soul.
Doomed is your soul and damned is your life, I believe.
That's it. Yeah.
I've watched that movie far too many times. John Lithgow is amazingly fun. He's great. I mean, both
Where are we going? Home? When? Soon. Yeah, that movie's great.
Oh god, the movie's a lot of fun. I really recommend watching it. I think it's on Netflix. It is fucking bizarre. It makes no goddamn sense. And you'll watch
It's all about that scene with the synthesizer playing and Bonsai is walking down the street, and his crew just sort of like appears from like alleyways and rooftops and.
Oh, that's the end
catwalks.
credits. That's the end credits.
Yes, it's great.
They go on full end of anime movie walk. I mean, it's great.
You know, I'm convinced anime just stole it from them.
They might have. I don't know. But I remember the first time I watched that, it was a movie. I was homesick, and my mother rented. My mother, when I was homesick, occasionally, I had to be home for a while. My mom would occasionally rent movies, and she rented a bunch of random stuff over the years, which is how I've seen. I saw Buckaroo Banzai the first time. It's how I saw Leonard Part 6. Oh God, that is a terrible movie.
Leonard Part 6, I saw at exactly the right time, which was mildly delirious from fever in grade school.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was middle school. I don't remember.
I wasn't
delirious
at
the
all
time.
delirious. I watched it.
I'm sorry.
I was home. I watched it, and I said, I'd heard the movie was bad. I was like 12 or something like that.
There was a scene where he
threatens
Philip
lobsters
Hobbs to be like chases
lobsters
murderous lobsters around with a
with
stick of butter.
Butter, hot melted butter.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, really? Okay.
It's really bad. Unlike the rest of these bad movies we've mentioned, guys, do not watch this. It's not worth it.
It was trying really hard to go for like Buckaroo Banzai and Monty Python levels of absurdity, and just not selling it well at all.
No, it's not good. It's not even that funny. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I can't even laugh at it. I just started watching it going,
Like, I fully expected the Spanish Inquisition to show up doing silly walks and slap people with fishes.
That would have improved the movie.
Yes.
The fish slapping dance in and of itself would have improved that movie. It might have even made sense in context. Given the whole movie's about controlling like normal animals to kill people. That was the evil villain plot.
Yeah.
There's a bit where a bunch of frogs went under somebody's car and sprung them off a bridge or something like that to his death. These frogs all gathered under the car and started jumping and bounced it off something, so it fell to the guy in the car fell to his death.
I don't remember that.
Someone was in a pool. Someone was killed in a swimming pool by, if I remember correctly, being devoured by trout. Because that makes sense and is possible.
Hey, trout have very powerful jaws.
And no teeth!
But,
no sharp teeth or anything like that. No.
And their jaws are not very powerful at all.
No, they're not.
Trout. Well, you know, the plate over the gills can be kind of sharp. So, you know, they could cut you a lot. They decided they didn't want to breathe.
Oh, God, this movie is so bad. Like, I'm getting more entertainment right now talking to you about how bad the movie is than I got watching it. By leaps and bounds.
Yeah, Leonard Pert, yeah.
Leonard
I said, I saw it once, mildly delirious with fever when I was very, very young.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China was one of those movies I didn't actually see till all the way through till high school. It was always one of those movies that like I would catch on TV as a kid, and I'd have to leave or go do something, right. And it was like, but it's the best part.
Oh God, I remember watching it with my brother for the first time he saw it, and the scene where they're trying to infiltrate Lopan's warehouse, coming in disguised as telephone inspectors, and they walk in carrying a telephone as their disguise. My brother could not stop laughing at that scene because it's just like it's brilliant. It's like
that is where they flub their disguise check, but fucking crit on their bluff check.
Yes. Well, honestly, the thing about that movie, and the best part about that movie, watching it with him at that point, is both of us have been playing Feng Shui, the role-playing game, for a couple of years at that point. And Ben was going, oh my God, this movie was the inspiration for Feng Shui. Like,
it absolutely was.
Big Trouble in Little China is a Feng Shui adventure. It really is.
Absolutely, yes.
It's just like, it's like the perfect Feng Shui adventure. If I could run a Feng Shui adventure that was that good, I would basically I would be, it's amazing. It's not a good movie, but as a role-playing game adventure, it is fucking brilliant.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, the characters in the movie act like the way people would act playing a character in a role-playing game. I mean, like Jack Burton is a role-playing game character. He totally is.
Jack Burton is totally that one guy who desperately wants to be the hero, but somehow isn't.
But also, like, his character is, like, supposed to be a cool loner, so he's, like, has to come up with weird reasons to actually stick with the actual party for the adventure.
Yes, yes.
It's like, the player clearly knows, like, okay, I want the character to be, like, the loner type, but I want to, like, be there for the adventure. Fuck. Alright. Gee, maybe they steal my truck. Like, the stealing truck makes no goddamn sense. Like, I think there's technically an explanation of the movie, but it's like, it's literally the reason the GM pulled it out of his ass to come up with the reason that the truck was stolen, to rope the Jack Burton into the adventure.
I'm reminded of Tora's character from that Feng Shui game
years
ago. I'm looking for my girlfriend. Perhaps if you had a picture of her, things would go easier. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, I just want to get my truck back. That's all I want.
Oh, God.
Took a hell of 1,000 cuts. What? Chinese got a lot of hells, Jack.
Oh, my God, that movie is so good and so quotable. It's not it is not the most quotable movie I've seen.
No, I think that's probably still The Princess Bride.
Yes, it is. I would agree with that. And it's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Princess Bride is pretty great.
It's just fantastic. That's a movie that just makes me happy. I mean, honestly.
As short as your perfect breasts in the world, it's a shame something would happen to yours.
I mean, no small part of it is honestly just Andre the Giant made me so happy in that movie. Fezzik was
Yes.
such a wonderful, lovable character.
Take care of him your way. Okay, what's my way again? When he comes around the corner, hit
Hit
him
it with
the
the
rock!
rock!
Oh,
My
my
way's
way
not
is not
very
very sportsmanlike.
I love Fezzik. He's so awesome. Oh, I love that movie so much. But yeah, it's so eminently quotable.
It really is.
Do you know what the most bizarre thing about that is? The reviewer, the guy when that movie was reviewed in the Boston Globe. You know how many stars it got?
I'm going to guess like 2.
Spot on.
Yeah, it's
They didn't get it.
yeah. Here's the. I occasionally read movie reviews by on the New York Times.
Yeah.
Largely because I've determined that whoever reviews movies in the New York Times does not understand fun. So, if they're talking about if they're talking about the movie in a particular way, I know it's a fun movie and I should go see it, even if the review didn't like it. Because that's like the review of The Avengers was talking about like blah blah blah, and it's a giant marketing thing, and grr Hollywood, and blah blah blah. I hate all things fun. I'm like, this movie is awesome. I should go see it. Because there's a certain type of movie reviewer out there that doesn't understand fun, but understands what goes into making a good movie
Right.
in a completely like dry scientific manner.
Right.
So they can see the flaws in how a movie is put together, but not understand how those flaws enhance the movie, the experience of the movie.
Yep.
So yeah, they're the New York Times loves employing those guys.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm somewhat sympathetic to the guys who are reviewing movies and talk about, like, from a, how movies should be structured and how to make it.
Oh no, I totally understand that, but there are times when you need to break those rules for
Absolutely.
for
And,
the sake of the movie.
and there are, you can have different types of movies that, like, not every movie has to be high art, basically, is my point.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, I'm a much more persnickety movie viewer than you are, for instance.
Yes.
Outside of cinematography itself, I think. Although
Part of that, but like, yeah, I know how to block a shot, and I understand like,
yeah,
and story structure and characterization, all that shit. I get that, and I definitely understand like cinematography and blocking a shot, because, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah. Well, you're the art student.
Right.
I mean, I sort of get that. I mean, I knew some, like, the father of my close friend of mine when I was a kid was a cinematographer, which apparently made him infuriating to go to movies with.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
But he complained about mistakes in the cinematography during the film. My mom complained
It's
about
like
that.
watching an action movie with a gun nut or an ex-military guy. Like, they're going to punch holes in it because they know how that shit works, and it pulls them out of the experience.
Right. I get. I honestly, that would bother me slightly less than the cinematographer pointing out when you can see, like, a camera's shadow somewhere in the scene.
Right.
I get why that's unprofessional and bad, but I don't need that pointed out right now. Thank you very much.
It's actually one of the things I hate about J.J. Abrams in particular is that he is great at blocking a scene, but he insists on fucking it up with unnecessary lens glare that he seems to add in post-production.
Well, that's the thing, is that the problem with that sort of thing is it reminds you that it's being filmed.
Yes.
That's the problem I have with it.
And I don't... more importantly, it obscures the action a lot of the time.
That too, well, duh. But, yeah.
Like, he's particularly bad about that. And I have other problems with J.J. Abrams, like the way he characterizes and markets his movie, the way he does characterization, the way he markets his movies and projects is infuriatingly disingenuous. His story structure isn't great, but the man knows how to block a fucking scene and shoot action. The problem is he covers it up with so much fucking lens flare.
Yeah.
Like movement, he does movement in his scene really well. It's just that you can't actually see it.
I know. I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of Abrams as a director.
I actively dislike him, but I will give credit where credit is due.
Sure, but yeah, like yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very. It's really interesting. Like there are movies that I adore that I know are bad movies. Like as I said, Buckaroo Banzai and Big
Big
Trouble in
Trouble in Little
China.
China.
There are
Yeah,
a bunch of bad movies I love, but like
absolutely.
I've got this weird sort of spectrum of like there are a bunch of movies that I think are okay that I just don't talk about very much. But it's like, yeah, the movie's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I tend to give certain things in certain genres a pass, but if as long as they're keeping in that genre, like space opera being stupid scientifically, okay, fine.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. When something's being definitively space opera, I'm fine with that.
Uh,
If it's trying to present itself as an actual scientific sci-fi movie, like hard sci-fi movie, and it fucks that up, that bothers me.
yes, and I'll typically give that. For example, I'll give it more of a pass than you do, but it does sort of like pull me out a little bit. Particularly, yeah.
If the rest of the movie's good, that it's only a minor annoyance.
Um,
Like if it's presenting itself as a hard sci-fi movie and it fucks up the science, and everything else about it is good, then I will basically go, okay, that was annoying, but I can live with it.
right.
But there has to be other stuff to hook me at that point. I mean,
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I'm just more forgiving about it than you are, I think.
oh yeah, sure, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
But like, there are other movies that I just can't watch because romantic comedies. I can't fucking stand romantic comedies.
For the most part, I agree with you. There are some that I absolutely adore, but yes,
There are some that I absolutely adore, but those are ones usually playing with the tropes in unexpected ways.
yeah,
But the tropes in romantic comedies irritate the fuck out of me.
sure.
Unless you're doing something interesting and new with those tropes, I just won't do it.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
I personally, as an example, I love when Harry Met Sally. I think it's a wonderful movie, but I totally get why some people wouldn't enjoy it.
And yeah, I dislike that movie immensely.
I totally get why. I think part of it is that I grew
Even
up,
there's something about Mary. I
didn't like that one.
Yeah, which does do interesting things with the tropes. It's just the rest of the movie's ass.
Honestly, my favorite romantic comedy is
If you say Shaun of the Dead, we're friends.
it's not Shaun of the Dead, although I love Shaun of the Dead to pieces. No, it's I Love You to Death.
I don't think I've seen that one.
You haven't seen I Love You to Death?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, it's amazing, Eric.
I Married an Ex-Murderer is pretty fucking awesome.
That one's also fun, but it's not. I Love You to Death. Oh my god, Eric. It is simultaneously a rom-com and black comedy simultaneously.
Oh, that sounds great. I love
Because
good black comedy.
basically, the basic premise is, and it is there's I can't remember oh fuck. Hang on a second. I need to look this up before I get the names wrong. All right. First off, it was directed by Lawrence Kasdan.
Okay.
You should
What's
know
he
his name
done?
from Star Wars.
Okay, I know who he is.
Right. All right. So the two leads are Kevin Kline and Tracy Ullman.
Okay, that's pretty damn good.
They are a married couple. Kevin Kline's Italian. Tracy Ullman's character is I want to say Polish. And Kevin Kline is they run a pizza restaurant.
Okay.
Here's the thing: they love each other. Tracy Ullman's character, Rosalie's character, she loves her husband Joey. Except he's a complete and utter philanderer. He's got like about 5 or 6 women on the side. And Rosalie eventually finds out about it.
As you do, otherwise that wouldn't be a movie.
Right. And decides. So she and her mother basically decide to kill him.
Okay.
And I'm not going to spoil the rest of the movie, but there are two brilliantly, wonderfully inept hitmen in the movie, who are played by William Hurt and River Phoenix.
Awesome.
They're not actually hitmen. But they're during one of the attempts on Joey's life, they're brought in. I'm not going to spoil anything else in the movie. It is amazing, Eric.
Death Becomes Her. Does that count as a romantic comedy?
I don't know.
Because I really like that movie also.
But yeah.
Something about Goldie Hawn sort of lifting her shattered spine up out of her neck and then it flopping right back into her.
Goldie Hawn was actually amazing, honestly.
Yes.
She's really good, honestly, in general. I love Goldie Hawn, but yeah.
What's her face? The other woman in it, whose name I can't remember. She ends up with a giant hole through her torso.
Meryl Streep.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh, Meryl Streep's one of my favorite actresses.
Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn as who. The premise behind Death Becomes Her is there's two women vying over Bruce Willis. Was it?
Yes, it was.
Bruce Willis, as schlubby as Bruce Willis ever gets, which is kind of awesome.
Yes.
They're vying over him, so they both contract the same evil gypsy woman to give them eternal youth. The problem is, it makes them immortal. The problem is that they don't heal. And the climax of the movie is the two of them wailing on each other, doing terrible bodily damage to one another, while Bruce Willis just wants to get away from these lunatics.
It's a wonderful movie. Also directed by Robert Zemeckis.
Yes.
But yeah, Eric, I think you would love I Love You to Death. It's really funny.
I'll have to check that out.
Just for watching, it's like, oh my god, what is...
And the best part is they go through all these horrible things for the schlubbiest schlub that was ever a schlub.
Yeah. I can think of another sort of quasi-romantic comedy you actually probably like.
Okay.
Fish Called Wanda.
I was okay. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember I wasn't terribly impressed with it.
I adore
that movie. I didn't hate it.
I adore that movie. Partially because John Cleese and Michael Palin are wonderful in it, and Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic, and so is Kevin Kline. Yeah,
it's got a great cast, but I don't know. It's been a long time. My taste has changed significantly enough. I might enjoy it now, but yeah, I didn't dig it.
Fair enough. I adore that movie. I adore it to pieces. But it's not like my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
It's got flaws, etc. But the movies I love to pieces. If a movie gets to a certain threshold with me, I'm just like, I will defend it to the death. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Like, you cannot tell me Blade Runner is not the best movie, because it is the best movie.
It's one of my favorite movies, but I wouldn't say it's the best movie.
I get more that way about characters, though.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me Toph isn't the best girl, because Toph is the best girl. Like, from Avatar: The Last Bender, for those who don't know, but Toph is the best. She is the best character in that show. The end. Fuck you. I will fight you to the death over Toph.
I like Toph a lot. I like all the characters in that show, though. So
yeah,
I don't know. She's not my favorite character in that show.
Then you are a bad person, because Toph is the best.
I will defend General Iroh to the death.
Yeah, Iroh's awesome. I've never met anyone that didn't like General Iroh. General Iroh is just
amazing. He's fantastic. He's one of the best.
He's everything you want in a grandpa.
He's a great character too.
Also, he breathes fire. How do you not love a guy who breathes fire?
He's just a wonderful character, and Mako did a wonderful job voicing him.
Mako knocked it out of the fucking park with him.
One of my two favorite voice acting roles he's done.
Yeah.
The other one being Aku.
Shape-shifting shogun of sorrow. That's a show I need to rewatch.
Yeah.
Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Just beautiful fucking show.
We've talked about that on the show before. How much we both just are blown away by the art in that show and the animation.
Holy shit! And the
Jack versus the Black Ninja episode. Oh my god, that fight
holy
scene.
Crap, that's beautiful.
We've talked about this before. We're just like both are just like completely blown away by that scene.
Yeah,
it's just like,
that's a great fight scene. Holy shit. The one where it's Jack going back and visiting all his places from his childhood.
Yes.
And it's basically one giant love letter to every Japanese samurai movie ever written.
Yep. That show's amazing. It's just fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, I really need to get back to I need to watch some more movies. I've not been watching many recently. I've been watching mostly television.
Yeah, and Yeah, the internet has spoiled me for actually watching television as television.
Yeah, well, same.
The internet has ruined my ability to watch TV with commercials in it. I tried it the other day. I was like, nope, fuck this. We'll find it online.
Oh God, What? There was something else I was trying to watch. I was watching and I could not. I actually eventually sort of stopped, and I forget what it was. Something on Netflix. God, it was something that was like I've watched it before and I enjoyed it, but I kind of, let's see. Hang on, let me see. I gotta look at this. Oh, that's right. I was rewatching the first season of Dexter.
The psychopath or the cartoon?
The serial killer.
Okay, yeah.
So I was
He's
rewatching.
not really. He's a sociopath with psychopathic tendencies.
So I was rewatching the first season. I'm sort of watching. I'm going. I'm enjoying this, but I know where this is going, and it actually is undermining it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, knowing what's going to happen basically is like, this show's not as good as I remember it.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I'm like, I could watch the second season, but I'm not sure I care.
Yeah, I felt a lot of it in the second season. I haven't felt compelled to go back, and it's funny because I fucking loved Dexter.
I really enjoyed the first season.
I adored it.
The first season, the first time I watched it, I thought was fantastic, and I never got around to watching the second season just because
But I don't feel a compulsion to go and revisit it.
Yeah, and from everything I've heard, the last season is awful.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Dexter
took after the second season. Everything I've heard is that Dexter took
I've heard there's like it basically it sort of oscillates during the middle season, and then the last season, like the sixth season, is apparently like there's some really good stuff in there. Like apparently the season with John Lithgow is amazing.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't seen it
which
though.
is I think season 4. But like yeah, I've heard basically season one I enjoyed. Season 2 was apparently was good, but not as good as season 1. I've heard nobody who likes season 3 basically, which is the season with Jimmy Smits.
Right.
Not a knock on Jimmy Smits because he's a great actor, but. And season 4 is apparently like a great return to form. And then I don't remember what people said about seasons 5 and 6 and 7, but apparently season 8 was everyone's like, yeah,
Jesus,
no.
It went on for 7 fucking seasons?
It went on for 8 seasons.
Jesus Christ. Way to milk a fucking situation, guys.
Well, there are a bunch of books. Mind you, they're not based on, like, they diverge sharply after the first season from the books, but,
Right.
Apparently. I've not read the books and not really interested in doing so. Yeah. I may go back and finish watching this first season, but I don't know if I want to watch the second season, despite the fact Jamie Murray's in it. I love her. She's great.
Yeah, it's funny because there was a time when I was really into Dexter, and then several movies came out with actors from Dexter. I was like, I must see these. They were all terrible. Skyline, what a terrible fucking movie. The guy who plays Angel is in it, and aliens invade, and they've got like.
Yeah, I know about Skyline.
Just the whole thing is filmed inside someone's apartment.
I saw the trailers and it looks stupid.
You've got giant bio-titans running around stealing people's brains. How do you fuck this up so badly by having it about just we're just gonna hang out in the apartment. We're gonna talk. I worked for Night of the Living Dead. You're not fucking George Romero.
Oh God. It's like how back to a director we both are sort of not down on, but Abrams, how badly he fucked up Cloverfield.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I kind of liked Cloverfield the first time I saw it. And the second time I saw it, I liked it less, and it's a movie I like less and less every time I see it.
Well, the big problem with Cloverfield is it's got a couple of problems. One, it doesn't really have very many likable characters.
No, most of the characters are pretty terrible.
I don't think it has any likable characters now I'm thinking about it.
The dark-haired girl isn't bad in that she's the most human of them. She's the one that goes, this seems stupid, why are we doing this? And then she explodes for some reason. But yeah, she was the most human of them and probably the smartest. You had Captain Dumbass of the camera.
Yep.
The most unlikable couple ever.
Yeah, I just oh God, I was done with found footage movies after Blair Witch.
I remember Blair Witch pretty fondly, but that's because it got me laid.
No. I'm not. I actually don't dislike Blair Witch that much. I'm not a huge fan of it, but for what it is, it's fine. I don't think it's as good as some people give it credit for, but it was innovative. So I give it a lot of credit for that. And the concept of doing a found footage monster movie is kind of interesting. A giant monster movie, kaiju movie, is kind of interesting. But then you remember there's a big problem with doing that.
And that's so you don't see enough of the monster doing awesome things.
Right.
Because you go to a kaiju movie for the fucking kaiju.
Well, yes, no small part of it. Also, the problem is like the whole sort of intimacy of being brought in by it being through the camcorder type thing, and so the realism of the jostling of the camera. When the entire set is shaking and trembling because there's a fucking kaiju walking around, it means you can't see anything because the camera is constantly shaking.
Yeah.
And giving me a headache because it literally does that. Too much shaky cam gives me a headache. I mean, I
remember I saw. I didn't see Cloverfield in the theater. I saw someone got me the DVD for Christmas, I think.
I'm glad I did not see it in the theater either because I know if I had, I would have been ill. Like it would have given me a headache.
So I pop in the DVD player, and me and my roommate at the time are sitting there watching it, and we're like, "These guys are idiots," but at least it's entertaining. And the one scene where they're walking down the subway tunnels, and all the rats start swarming. And they're like, what the hell's going on? And Chris and I both look at each other and go, why aren't they running? Holy shit, are you idiots? Wait, we just answered our own question. And they're attacked by giant water fleas.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I watched... when I watched Cloverfield, my reaction to it was, wow, this is not a good kaiju movie. It's not a good movie. I hate everybody. And I'm getting a headache. Also, this movie did a brilliant job hyping itself up and utterly failed to live up to its own hype.
Yeah, and that's part of my problem with Abrams in general, is he will sell the fuck out of something, but it's almost never worth the amount of hype he dumps into it.
Well, the big thing is that even with with Star Trek, it was not as hyped as Cloverfield was. There was not as much,
That's true.
But they did some really innovative advertising for that movie with viral campaigns and such on the website.
Yeah, not actually letting anyone know about its fucking title for the longest time.
Right, and never giving you any glimpse of the monster, which is a good thing because it was just kind of a silly looking monster.
Yeah, it was all gangly and had big inflatable sacks for cheeks or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Cloverfield.
There was a seed of a good idea for a monster in there, but
yes, it just didn't work.
Yeah, they're relying on the shaky cam to make up for its
basically,
anatomy.
And that's part of the problem. So
but yeah, Abrams and Benedict Cumberbatch is totally not Khan. Honest to goodness, Scout's honor, blah blah blah. It's like no, he's Khan. Just admit it, Abrams. We know he's Khan. You're going to remind us of the best Star Trek movie because you're an idiot, and he's clearly Khan. No, he's not Khan. Okay, fine. He's not Khan. Who is he then? You'll have to find out. See the movie. It was Khan. Of course it was fucking Khan. We all knew it was Khan, Abrams. I have a lot of problems with Into Darkness.
So you've mentioned before. I've still not seen it because I know it's one of those movies that will cause me to rage.
Yeah, it really is. I hate what Abrams has done to my Star Trek.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like the whole philosophy stuff in Star Trek.
Yes, I know.
He has said that, and my reaction to that is, then why are you doing Star Trek?
For the paycheck, clearly.
Yeah, fair point.
But the one interview with Jon Stewart, it's I never really liked Star Trek. I just found it too philosophical. Blah 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 blah. And it goes on for 30, 45 seconds, maybe even a full minute. And then Jon Stewart goes, "So all I heard was I'm sorry." Yeah, I think. I don't know how I feel about The Force Awakens. I am literally to get my hopes up.
My hopes are not up at all.
And then I see Brian of Tarth is playing a stormtrooper captain, kick-ass chrome armor. And I'm like, ooh, that's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
and they're doing some interesting stuff, like, the actual Force-sensitive lead character is black,
Yeah,
which is like one of those, wait, what?
that's pretty damn cool. It's like, holy crap, there's another black person other than Lando Calrissian in
Yes!
Star Wars?
And apparently he's the lead.
And that's awesome.
It's like, wow, I mean, assuming the guy's a good actor, awesome.
Yeah.
Assuming he's at
In
least...
Star Wars tradition, he might suck.
Assuming he's at least as good as Mark Hamill, I'm
Yeah.
okay with this. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking for Mark Hamill in Star Wars level. That's all I ask for. And if we get more of that, thumbs up.
Yeah, and you know what? All the footage I've seen from the trailers and shit, not 1 ounce of lens flare.
And apparently they're using practical effects.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
the
a
robot...
lot of things that
No,
get my hopes up about The Force Awakens, but then I'm like,
But it's Abrams.
but it's Abrams.
I'm the same way.
I mean, it's better than Lucas, but only just.
But, like, the soccer ball bot, right? The thing that you saw on camera, you're like, oh, that's CG. And it's not.
No, it's actually practical effects, and that's fucking awesome.
I'm like, wait, what? That's a thing? No, do not get excited about this. Do not get excited about this, Peter. You're going to be disappointed.
It's a Sith guy who's trying to be all Darth Vader and blah, 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 blah. Oh, crap, he's got a freaking lightsaber with a crossguard on it. Why hasn't anyone thought of that before?
This is a terrible idea.
No, it's an awesome idea. Shut up. I dig the crossguard.
Oh, it's cool. But it's practically stupid.
No, because you can catch the blade with it, and you can, like, twist and disarm.
And
You can do all the things you do with a fucking crossguard on an actual sword.
Which, unfortunately, if you happen to catch your crossguard on yourself, will cut you to pieces.
Well, that's what the whole being force sensitive is for, is to warn you about that shit.
Sure. It's a terrible idea, Eric.
Lightsabers are a terrible idea. There's no weight to the damn things.
I agree. I agree.
Yourself instantly trying to wield it.
It is slightly
That's
less...
why you need to be a Jedi or have some sort of predictive algorithm like goddamn General Grievous.
And I will say this: it is slightly less stupid than it is a slightly less stupid idea than the double-bladed lightsaber, which is a terrible idea.
Which is a stupid fucking idea.
Because
Granted, watching Andy Serkis work that motherfucker like
that wasn't Andy Serkis.
a thing has never been worked before.
That was Ray Park.
Great.
That was Ray Park, Eric.
Yeah.
Not
You're
Andy.
right. It was Ray Parker. I'm sorry.
Ray Park, not Ray Park, not Andy Serkis.
Right. Different awesome guy. Sorry.
Yes.
But yeah,
one of them's a
watching
martial
Ray Park
artist, the
fuck
other's guy
that
who played
motherfucker.
Golem.
And one of the most beautifully choreographed fight scenes I'd seen ever. Did not have the resonance of the duel in Empire Strikes Back, but it was pretty damn badass.
Oh, it was a wonderful fight scene from a choreography standpoint.
Yes.
But it's still not the fight from Empire, which is still the best saber fight in Star Wars, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the one in Jedi comes close because it's a culmination of the same fight. It's just an extended part of the fight.
Sure, yeah, and it's good, but it doesn't have. It's missing the bits where Vader's doing the telekinetic throwing things around.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite bits of that. It's just like, that's just great.
Yeah.
Also, it also doesn't have Vader parrying Luke's strike by turning his lightsaber on.
Yeah. And Vader just... And that's what I really wanted in the prequels. There's a lot of things I wanted in the prequels, but one of the things was... don't do the fucking bouncing like buzzsaw of doom bullshit with Anakin. Have Anakin perfect the whole economy of movement just enough to get the job done fighting. It looks badass, and it prefaces the way Vader would fight. So I still don't buy the bullshit like Vader's got robot arms that he's not as good with, so he can't fight. No, fuck that. Darth Vader's awesome. He's got robot arms. The robot arms are awesome. He can do anything he wants. General Grievous proves that robot arms are awesome. Vader has them.
The reason is very simple. The fight cinematography was influenced by Hong Kong action flicks in the prequels, whereas the original trilogy was influenced by samurai movies.
Yes, clearly.
And also tech limitations.
Yes. Plus the fact that the guy that had playing Vader could not move in the friggin' leather bodyguard they stuck him in.
Hence tech limitations.
Yes.
But, like, these saber styles that are used in the original trilogy are based on Iijutsu and Kenjutsu.
Yep.
whereas the saber styles used in the prequels are based on kung fu movies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're actual Chinese sword styles. I have no fucking clue.
I don't think they actually are, but they look cool, and that's basically what you're looking for.
Yes, and I'm like, okay, fine, but like using the lightsaber like the way a samurai would makes more fucking sense.
Yeah, because
Injutsu and Kenjutsu make more sense for a lightsaber than flippy dippy shit.
yeah, because you don't need flippy dippy shit when all you need to do is score a hit, and you've done horrible, grievous bodily harm.
Yes.
You got a fucking Vorpal sword. You don't need flippy dippy shit.
You're trying to land one strike.
That's all you need.
Lightsaber dueling should be about trying to land one strike, which is fucking Kenjutsu.
Yes.
God fuck. Sorry. I'm getting angry about the prequels again. About something really stupid. It's not even like a good reason to be angry about the prequels.
There's so many good reasons to be angry.
There's so many better reasons to be angry with the prequels than fucking that. But it makes me angry.
Story structure, wooden acting out of good actors, horrific characterization.
Anyways, we've been going on for a good long while. We should probably wrap things up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found the show entertaining. I doubt you found it educational. If you heard of something...
This is totally a popcorn episode.
Yeah, it really is. Though if there's a movie or a show we talked about that you sounded interesting, you want to check it out, go do so. Just don't watch Leonard Part 6, please. For the sake of your sanity. Or if you do, don't blame me. I warned you. And this is not a ha-ha-ha trying to get you to watch it suckers thing. No, I'm giving you actual warnings. It's a bad movie. Don't watch it.
It's not worth the trouble, guys.
It really isn't. You will not... You will regret that. You will regret that hour and a half of your life going away. I promise you, it's not good.
Really, really fucked up. And you want to watch a bad movie? We have better recommendations.
Watch Ice Pirates instead.
Yeah, holy shit! Ice Pirates is a better movie than Leonard Part 6. How did that happen?
Leonard Part 6 is terrible.
It's not just terrible; it's apparently apocalyptically terrible. Its prolapse of the hemorrhoids terrible.
Watch Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's a better movie. At least it's earnest.
There is that.
Oh my god. Okay, I will say this: it is Leonard Part 6 is better than the Lonely Woman.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my god, don't.
Okay.
That's the one with Pia Zadora, and it's effectively...
You know what? It's better than the very strange creatures that became mixed up zombies. Whatever. I don't know. Terrible, terrible zombie movie from the 60s. Right.
I'll say this, Leonard Part 6 is better than Showgirls. Which is effectively a remake of The Lonely Woman, but, you know.
I don't know. Showgirls had tits.
It was terrible. There's nothing.
Showgirls is fucking terrible.
There is no. I cannot defend Show. No, Leonard Part 6 is more entertaining than Showgirls, despite the boobs.
I guess
there are better ways to get boobs, Eric.
We do have the internet.
Yes. Anyways, guys. Thank you for watching. If you've got questions you'd like us to answer in the show, feel free to ask us. You can email us at surlygrognards@yahoo.com. surlygrognards@yahoo.com. We try to save time at the end of each episode to answer viewer questions. We didn't have any this week, so we didn't save any time for it. Also, we would have forgotten. If you got show topic suggestions, things we'd like us to talk about for a whole show on, let us know. Same email address, surlygrognards.
Please, it keeps us from doing another bullshit session where we rant drunkenly about movies. Well, I rant drunkenly about movies.
So, please.
Peter just rants.
Yeah. Show topic suggestions. You got feedback for us, ways we can make the show better, things we could do better, etc. All of that you can send it to us at surlygrognards@yahoo.com, or you can hit us up on our forums, which you can find at mechagm.forumer.com. Or you can hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @mechagm. And, or you can leave comments on YouTube, because this will go up on YouTube at some point, hopefully tonight, assuming that I'm not a moron and forget, the way I sometimes do.
See, this just guarantees that you're going to forget now.
YouTube.com/mechagym, go check it out, there's a bunch of stuff there. Old episodes of Surly Grognards, role-playing game stuff, video games, all sorts of stuff, go check it out. That's going to do it for this week, though, I think. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
That's all the things, right?
I think that's the shtick.
Great. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all had fun. We'll see you guys soon. Until we see you guys next, be happy, be safe, keep on gaming, and we will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Humans.